What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. Episode number 153. My name is Randy Little. Welcome if you're new to this. If you are a returning visitor, listener, subscriber, viewer, fan, it's appreciated. On this episode, it's me, it's Rocket, young Sir Nicholas, and there's some Scream news, and then we're just discussing the Oscar nominations. Kind of just how bogus the Academy is. It is what it is. Interaction is dope. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think. What y'all think should have been nominated. What you think about the Scream updates. New releases. What you thought about them. It don't matter. On that note, most recently in the theater, the weekend of the 24th of January, I think Presents came out from Steven Soderbergh. The haunted house movie from the POV of the spirit. And then I feel like something else came out. Flight Risk came out. Directed by Mel Gibson, starring Mark Wahlberg. Once upon a time, I would have been just like giddy to talk about that movie, but now I don't care. This current weekend, Companion came out, and Dogman came out. Reviews on my personal YouTube channel. Upcoming February 7th, Hard Eyes comes out. Looks like a Valentine's slasher. And also Love Hurts, which probably isn't, but is being marketed as like a Valentine's action movie. The weekend of Valentine's Day weekend. I'm not going to edit that out. On the 13th, Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy in the U.S. will be available on Peacock, but I mean y'all gotta check because around the world it might get put in the theaters. Some of y'all might call it Bridget Jones 4, but it is titled Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. And on the 14th in the theater, Captain America: Brave New World, again Captain America 4 to some of y'all. Anthony Mackie's first swing at being Captain America in a movie. I'm excited. And Paddington in Peru. Also, I'm excited. Watched the first two Paddingtons for the first time recently. Enjoyed both of them very much. On physical media, let's go to January 21st. I see The Substance. I see both volumes of Kill Bill and Jackie Brown got 4K upgrades. I see Heretic from A24. Venom: The Last Dance, Smile 2, Here from Robert Zemeckis, some re-releases in there. 28th of January, I think we officially got that House, the complete series box set. As far as movies, I'm not seeing much. A couple Warner Archive releases, which Just Friends was on that list, and apparently got delayed to March. So, moving it right along to February the 4th. I see A Real Pain, directed by Jesse Eisenberg, starring him and Kieran Culkin. Werewolves with Frank Grillo, Juror Number 2, Nicholas Hoult, directed by Clint Eastwood. Wicked. The Quantum Leap reboot looks like it's getting a 2-season release. I think it got canceled, right? The 11th of February, I see Conclave, which is probably just a 4K upgrade. Tom and Jerry from Warner Archive. I see Vampires on 4K. Ghost of Mars on 4K. Nice Guys on 4K. Paddington 2 on 4K. A bunch of upgrades. Um, and that looks to be it for the physical media releases, man. Hit us with a hit us with a rating. 5 stars, 1 star, thumbs up, thumbs down. No matter where you at in the world, it's all appreciated. When I be back, I will have a squad with me, and like I said, Scream, Oscars, we gonna chop it up. It's Rec League. And we back. 3-headed monster. We it looks like we traded Eric for Rocket, but it's not no trade. My internet connection is unstable, so this is gonna be a very fun episode. Speaking of trades, man, y'all want to talk about the Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic shit? Y'all want to do some Royal Rumble recap?
No.
That trade, I thought it was fake. Like I said, I thought it was fake.
Like
everybody,
just different outlets.
That I'm like not into sports. Like it's so funny because everyone on the internet for like a couple hours last night was talking about the same thing. Like,
they're like, still talking about it.
Man, it came out of nowhere. What the fuck is going on? This is like Destiny's Child traded Beyonce for Chili from TLC and all this stuff. And I was like, I still don't understand.
It's not.
Like it means nothing to me. So I'm just like reading these people like freaking out. I'm just like, I hope you find peace with it. I hope it's just so fun and something like.
It's like it's like if Taylor Swift and Haley Steinfeld traded boyfriends.
Okay, who's Haley Steinfeld's boyfriend?
The quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Cares?
Josh Allen.
Man, I still don't get like people make comparison. Like, I don't think it's like that.
So the first thing,
be like that.
First serious thing that I want to discuss is this Scream 7 news. Rocket, since you missed, what are your thoughts on Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard and Laurie Metcalf and Timothy Olyphant and Scott Foley and the Culkin that I don't think is nominated for A Real Pain and Emma Roberts and Jack Quaid and Mikey Madison. Damn, are they both nominated this year? Jack Quaid's not. And all of Jack Quaid's Scream relatives in Scream 6. They're all going to be in 7. And really only Matthew Lillard and Scott Foley are confirmed, but I just thought it was funny to exaggerate. What do you think?
It's going to have to be some sort of like flashback or how, Skeet Ulrich was coming back as someone's like persona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I could think of. It's got to be flashbacks or like that's, it could be where, it's that like that's interesting. Because at the end of the day, like Neve Campbell's character, I got a feeling she's the one that's gonna be seeing both of them. Because one was supposedly her friend in the first one, the other one was her long lost brother somehow. In another, it's just it's got to be
Director
where
and brother
either she has a nightmare or it's a dream sequence or she's gonna be a flashback or some sort. But also, if you just confirm those two, it can't be flashbacks because they can use footage from the other movies for that. Yeah. At the end of the day, I just think it's going to be more of these are things that she's going to see while things are happening. They're just going to appear. It's going to be like she's talking to herself, but she sees them. That's the only way I could even see it working. Because Stu was confirmed, Matthew Lillard's character, he died in the first one. Obviously, she killed her brother in the third one. And I'm just interested to see how this is all going to work. Because at the end of the day, it's to fill in the characters they lost. Like Jenna Ortega, her sister. Like, I wonder if they left. So there's that void there. What's a big name in this franchise even though they're dead, to bring back Matthew Lillard. And people have been asking for this for a while now. You know, people at one point didn't know if he was alive. Is he dead? You know, it was confirmed he was dead. The TV landed on his head and all that. Great. But at the end of the
They'd kill me.
day, it's like you lost these two characters, fine. But now we bring back Matthew Lillard. Like I said, whether flashbacks or as an alter ego, some to that degree. But now that alone fills that void of losing those two other characters. But I just want to see how they integrate it and how all this works.
Nick?
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, there have been people who've been like, you know, Stu could have survived that. A couple stab wounds in the TV, and I was like, those TVs were heavy as fuck back. Like, if you remember. Mm-hmm. But, like, okay, fine. But it's like, Roman couldn't have survived. Like, didn't he get shot, like, in the head?
Yeah. In the head, Dewey, in the head.
Yeah. So, I mean, it has to be some kind of something.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Joel McHale got cast a couple weeks ago, and husband, Mark, who, you know, they use that name because that's who Patrick Dempsey played in Scream 3. So it's like, oh, cute, they got married. But I read somewhere, and again, it's just speculation, I don't know, but somebody told me that Kevin Williamson is writing this one, and he didn't write part 3, and so he was trying to not have anything connected to part 3. So I was like, okay, if that's true, having Scott Foley come back is pretty wild. Yep. So
it's on Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. But Joel McHale has a different last name.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, so what's the point? But you know they did that because they were pretending it would be Patrick Dempsey.
But also, what kind of crazy is Sydney if she had relations with two different dudes with the same name?
I mean, I guess it's, you know, it's a small world.
Is it?
But you know, that's why they wrote that. Like in 5, they weren't thinking this far out.
Yeah.
Probably just assumed Patrick Dempsey wouldn't be doing a Dexter series in 2025.
Are y'all watching that, by the way?
I haven't started it.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Original Sin, and I think Resurrection is gonna get started here shortly.
It's fucking good.
Like I said, I got New Blood. I got like the original series. I got New Blood. But then I haven't seen the Original Sins, which is technically the prequel, but then Resurrection. So, you know, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, but I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
We're more intrigued by the Dexter lore.
Nah, Scream is my all-time favorite slasher franchise.
As I said, it's in murky waters right now because
I don't think it is.
Something that they have to do. Like, it's weird to just ignore. It's like you knew the next one was going to be Melissa Barrera and Jennifer. Like, you knew it was going to be that, and now you're like, well, we started from scratch. And it's like, you know, you fired that girl. Like, you should have tried. Like, I don't know. It's still kind of weird. It's like, but I'm also not going to pretend like I'm not going to see it. Like, I'm excited.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, Spyglass, the Spyglass waters are more murky than Scream. And I think bringing back the OGs, I think it's got to be a dream sequence, and I think we'll get some that they're not announcing. Emma Roberts.
Somebody said, multiple people on Twitter talk about they heard, or like somebody told them, or they read, or they heard, or whatever, that Emma Roberts was supposed to come back, and it should be announced any second now. Forgot it announced that same day that they announced the other two guys. They were like, that is not who I heard was coming back. And then Matthew Lillard got announced, and it was like, oh shit. And then I saw other people like, I also heard a third one, and they were like, not to be the spoiler king, but Emma Roberts is also coming, but they never announced her. But I did see multiple people say that.
I wonder how much Paramount has put in for de-aging.
I mean, you could do, Scott Foley, Emma Roberts, you would have to, because she didn't, I'm trying to remember. I got a headache. It was like her death, like she could be alive, right? Like she didn't get like decapitated or anything crazy.
Didn't she get the
But
paddles
also,
to the head?
yeah, she could be alive. People do that, don't they?
Clear.
Hey
I
man,
don't know.
people survive getting struck by lightning, so I'm like,
Well, that's family. So like that's Sydney's family. Scott Foley would have been Sydney's family. So I mean,
Yeah.
there definitely could be some kind of like reckoning where she's like
I don't know. I
talking to.
trust Kevin
Yes.
Williamson.
I thought, yeah, Kevin Williamson, like that Scream is like his baby.
That is,
like
yeah.
he made a lot of stuff, but like Scream is like, you know, when he passes on, that's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be like the writer of fucking Scream.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, God, what a great. So, and then Scream 2.
Best horror sequel of all time.
Best
I'll
horror
die on that
sequel
hill.
It might be. I really am trying to think, like,
Smile
there
2 is up there,
better?
but Scream 2 is the one.
Smile 2 is really good. Smile 2.
So here's my thing: if you're bringing back the OGs, why not bring them all back? Like, for example, if, like, to me, why not bring back Jamie Kennedy, and he could be the alter ego for the twins?
He's probably.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's because, I mean, like, remember, it's Melissa Barrera, like, it was Skeet Ulrich. That was her dad. I get that.
Ski.
I get that connection. But also, it's like, if you're bringing Matthew Lillard, who's he really connected to besides Sidney? You know, Nev Campbell's character.
Tatum.
The house.
The house.
You know, it's just, yeah.
That's what I'm
Ghost
saying
is
though. Like Nev Campbell missed out on the last one. Like they can still tie up the Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega shit.
Yep.
They really don't need to. A lot of people pointed out the way 6 ended. You know,
But
they walk.
Yep.
That
the way that they teased Melissa Barrera leaning both ways in both
Yep.
movies, I just want a definitive conclusion.
I know.
That's the same.
Fucked it. They did. There's no way around it. Like, oh, who cares? Oh, their storyline was wrapped up. It's like it couldn't be wrapped up. But they could have made, something else that really answered those questions that they opened up. And they were interesting characters. Like, how hard is that to do when you do like a modern horror reboot, to actually have your characters that you like, your new characters, like you gave a shit, like the core. They're in danger as the movies go on. You're like, one of them's probably gonna die, and then when something happens, you like give a shit. You're, oh my god, no. So they did that for two. So to kind of,
there's no way Buddy from Hard Eyes survives the next movie.
They're the Dewey conundrum, where it's like, all right, we have to do something definitive if we're actually going to kill him. But it's like, you kind of did that. I wouldn't have lived through what happened in 6.
No.
I would have died from being held like that. I'd have been like, oh, my back.
What's with that limp? You got stabbed in the back.
Severed nerve.
Also, too, it's like,
Deputy
do you think
Dewey
after
was the
this
world's
one,
finest.
do you think they're gonna make at least one more or two more to end it at 9?
I've heard they're already cooking 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, like, because at the end of the day I have a feeling where the final one, whenever they decide to end this, I think that's when everybody comes back. Whether it's, like I said, alter egos, flashbacks, whatever the hell it is, I just think that's when everybody's going to come back. Because look at Matthew Lillard's character, Stu. He was just only in the first one, but how good of a character, how good he played that character. And people have been clamoring for him for years to come back.
Everybody dies but us.
So at the end of the day, it's like, it's having him back, great. But I feel like these are also going to be like quick, short scenes of cameo. The cameos more than anything, because they can't be in the movie as much as I would love to see Matthew Lillard's character as throughout this movie. Maybe he is throughout as a Sydney's alter ego, but then why bring back the brother? You know what I mean? Like and to me, I would lean she would know Stu more and better, because remember, she just found out in 3 that this is your brother. You know what I mean? Like in that scene, it's just I want to see how this all plays out.
All right, like Kirby, it was kind of assumed that Kirby died. And everybody was like, I don't think so. Like, she didn't die. And then they were just like, you're right. And they just wrote her in. She was good in 6.
Yeah.
So maybe that was Stu. Maybe he's like in the hospital or something for 30 years.
Which I'm shocked that she's not coming back for 7 either.
Not yet.
Yeah, true.
They need to get the fucking cameras rolling. Like, time is running out. We got like 1 year.
Damn, I just saw something. Within the last month, they've started filming. And it's,
hurry up.
Did you ever watch those Yellowstone spinoffs?
No.
Nick,
I do.
You watch the Yellowstone spinoffs? The one with, not the Harrison Ford one, the Tim McGraw one. The younger blonde chick is supposed to play her daughter, but McKenna Grace is also in it, and I have a feeling that they're gonna be sisters. But also Anna Camp is in it.
Yeah.
The cast is pretty stacked.
I never care. Like, they'll announce like some teenage.
Finn Wolfhard's girlfriend from Ghostbusters is in it too.
Teenager.
McKenna Grace.
Oh yeah.
They've got a solid friends group or victims list.
I really like the little friends group in number 5.
Yeah.
I was like, they announce these like little 20-something-year-old cast members or like teenagers. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Where are the adults? Where are the returning characters? But then like 5, they had like the group, and I was like, I like this. This feels like the original. Like, they're all hanging out outside.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this group, and then they all got.
What do they call the core? Was it Core 4?
Yeah, the Core 4. I was like, I fuck with all these. Even like, Dylan Minnette. Like, he's kind of goofy, but I like his character was funny, and like his like.
Oh yeah. Deputy Judy.
What? The one dude's girlfriend, it was like kind of ditzy, and like Kyle Gallner was like,
hey,
spying on her. I was like, this is fun. I'm enjoying that. And then Mikey Madison, she was great. Like, I was like, I remember spending the whole movie being like, what did I see her in? Her face.
Honora.
Is familiar. She has this unique face. And then I was like, oh yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then she caught on fire in both. Now she's an Academy Award nominated, hopefully winning actress.
Oh, let's see about that.
Is that the segue? Is that the segue?
Maybe.
Is that the segue?
Was there?
There's not really more screen.
Was there more?
There's not really more screen. Nick, the floor is yours to rant.
Anyone die?
No, it's a lot of controversy. A lot of controversy for these Best Pictures. So
yeah.
So Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, Fernanda Torres. Who's the front runner? Cynthia Erivo and her no eyebrows.
Well,
Demi Moore has kind of emerged as the front runner, weirdly enough.
Really?
Yeah. Oddly enough. Yeah. I think people are just rooting for it. It's got a lot of...
If they're giving it to Jamie Lee Curtis for that bogus performance 3 years ago, give it to Demi Moore.
It's so crazy.
That's how I feel.
Curtis is in the movie The Last Showgirl right now with Pamela Anderson, and she
a sequel to Showgirls?
Times better in it than she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, I think she pulled a SAG nomination for it, and so it was kind of looking like, oh, well, I'll bet she pulls another supporting actress nomination. She didn't. She's so much better. Her character is like way more interesting, and it's like a supporting performance. They ignored that movie. That movie was great. I'm just like, take off the Amelia Perez lady and give it to Pamela Anderson or Angelina Jolie, or even, I don't know. There's a lot to be said about Amelia Perez.
Say it.
And its place.
Say it.
I don't know. Did anybody watch it? Did either of y'all watch it?
No. My wife watched it, and I just didn't. Once I saw musical and subtitles, I just became the ignorant American that checked out.
Well, put it like this. I saw parts of it. My wife was watching it. I sat down, like, what the hell? Like, to be honest with you, I was like watching. I gave her this weird look, like, what is this shit, right? So then we're watching it.
Walking into that movie in the middle and, like, trying to pick up.
Oh, God.
I saw the clip that Nick sent us. It was interesting.
Zoe Saldana walks in and just starts singing. I'm like, oh, it's a musical. She's like, my wifey was even, I didn't even know it was a musical. So they start singing in Spanish and all that. But here's the thing: how this movie got nominated, not for the performances. I'm not saying for that, but just as a best picture is. I speak Spanish. I speak Spanish fluently. It's weird seeing Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez speak Spanish because you're not used to seeing them do that. But here's the thing: Zoe Saldana, when she spoke Spanish, it was more smooth, fluent. Not that Selena Gomez does not speak Spanish at home or things like that, but it felt like if someone who's never spoken Spanish in their life can act, but was reading a script and it was very robotic and very, to me, felt choppy. Where it was like, put it like this: when I was raised, my parents both worked, so I stayed with my grandparents who spoke nothing but Spanish. That's how I learned how to speak Spanish. I became fluent. My brother did not have that. My mom stopped working to take care of my brother and I. So when he visited my grandparents, he understands Spanish, but he doesn't. Like, if you would hear my brother speak Spanish, you thought he was getting interrogated because he's like, yes, no, no, yes. It's terrible. He sounded more like Selena Gomez than anything because it was so choppy and someone who doesn't use Spanish often. Whereas Zoe Saldana sounded a little bit slightly smoother, so that threw me off to begin with. And I'm like,
that's what everyone said.
And I'm like,
but I'm telling you,
this is odd because I know Selena Gomez has given interviews in Spanish.
Anybody that's watched this, anybody I've seen react to this movie, it has not been, oh, this needs Oscar nominations. This shit, like we said in the group chat, dog, this shit is checking the boxes. And after hashtag Oscars so white, that's all the Academy cares about is catering and clamoring to the demographics. We acknowledge them. We acknowledge them. We acknowledge them. So now the best work, art, effort, the best movies, the best performances are not getting acknowledged. Period.
I think this once it gained whatever traction it gained through the festival circuit or whatever. I think it might have played better overseas. I don't know what it was. It seemed like it just kind of came out of nowhere, and then it was on Netflix and people on Twitter and stuff were talking about it. I was like, wait, I don't even know what this is. And then it started being this big awards front runner. I think it's okay. You talk about you check the boxes or whatever. I think it's good to be mindful of okay, let's broaden our nominees. Let's really look at the crop of films that we have that are actually vying for awards. And okay, we got at least 5 slots. In other things, we have more. So it's okay, yeah, look for those movies for sure. I'm yes, there's a never-ending onslaught. Not everything's going to get nominated. Yes, you should be looking at movies that tackle sensitive subjects, looking with movies with, different leads that you don't necessarily see get nominated, different genders, yada, yada, different races. I'm for it. I agree, It's not like you have to dig. There has to be one black nominee. It's not like you have to do that. There's amazing actors giving amazing performances across the spectrum all the time. You can pick, just pick one. It's fine. And but this movie is it's like the spinning plates. It has a million different things, different subjects that it's trying to tackle, and it's not landing with any of them. It wants to be a movie about the trans experience. It wants to be a movie about the difficulties of transitioning from finding yourself in your own body and the differences of or the difficulties of convincing the people. It wants to be that kind of movie. It wants to be a movie about life in gritty cartel run Mexico. It wants to be a lot it wants to show you the hard truths about living in this world. It wants to be a movie about the way women live in that kind of society and the way they're treated and the way police It wants to be like a movie about the police and how it treats cases like that and how they don't take it seriously. It wants to be a splashy musical for some fucking reason. It wants to be a movie where they just stop and get on the table and start singing. And like, it never works. Like, at every turn, it's like, we aren't committing to the bit. We aren't committing to this side of the story. And it's underserving every piece to be this weird thing. I give it point. Like, I don't even think I hated it as much as other people did. I'm like, I'll give it points for like audacity. It's like, wow, you really tried. Like, you swung for the fences and you missed. But like, okay. And generally, I think the performances are good. People are acting like their dog shit got off. I'm like, Zoe Saldana's good in the movie. I just don't get it. Like, I'm watching it, I'm like, ugh. And the musical numbers are insane because some of them are in English, some of them are in Spanish. It's directed by like the Frenchest French guy in the world. Your two of your like your big lead actors, like Rocket said, are like speaking Spanish, but like they're American actresses. Like, let's be real. Like, they're American actresses. They've got different, but primarily they aren't in movies speaking Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. That part didn't really bother me, but according to like everyone, they were like, oh, Selena Gomez's delivery is like just really stilted. Like, it's like she doesn't know how to speak Spanish. And I'm like, see, I'm not like anti Selena Gomez or anything like that, but I'm like, that's the problem. If you're watching, it's like, you couldn't have like committed to like, I don't know. It's just, I don't really care, but it's like, it's again, you look at it and it's like every aspect of the film doesn't really work for 2.5 hours. Like, you're watching and it's just like, no, didn't like that song. Nope.
See, my biggest plot hole of the whole thing is, I agree with Nick. The performances were fantastic. Really, they were.
Like, that's controversy with the actor.
Yeah. But,
with, the main actress. Like, that's controversy aside. Performance is fine.
Yeah. And from what I saw it was just 1 minute they're talking, then they're just breaking out in song and dance for like no apparent reason. But here's the thing. Here's the biggest plot hole. You are a drug lord cartel. You're a drug lord, you run a cartel. In this case, you transition from being a man into being a woman. You can't be a ruthless just person or individual from one gender, change it, and become a fairy godmother in the next. Like, yes, technically that character was portrayed as a man, gets a sex change, and becomes a woman. At the end of the day is, when you changed your identity in this movie to become a woman, you could put a front as you're trying to be nice, caring, and all that. At the end of the day, you are still you. You're going to be ruthless. If someone crosses, you're going to kill them. Like, this is how you survived to become a drug lord and run a cartel. And now you went from the man version of this character to the woman version of this character, and now she's polite. I'm like, this makes no sense.
Like, it's like a bad way to tell that kind of story. 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, the movie The Danish Girl came out.
Remember that?
Redman. It's, it's not aged the best, but it's a good movie. It's a great performance. But a lot of people took issue with, Eddie Redmayne, cis white man, playing both, character that, transit, and it's basically just him in makeup. Like, I'm a woman now. People took issue with that. I get it.
Did he win an Oscar for that? He won an Oscar for that, I think.
He was nominated for it.
He was nominated. That's what it was.
But this, okay, it's two different actors. It's like, okay, cool. We're learning. You want to tell the whole story of someone. But it's like, the story is like, yeah, it's like Tony Montana is, kidnapped Zoe Saldana and is like, listen, bitch, I need to disappear, bitch. And that's why you're transitioning. It's like, I need to disappear. I need to be off the grid. I need you to tell my wife, Selena Gomez, who's at least 20 years younger than me, why, tell her I'm fucking dead, bitch. You tell her I'm dead, bitch. I'm gonna disappear, bitch. And she's like, Zoe Saldana's like tied up in a car, and it's like, okay, I can make that happen. And then she goes to the fucking hospital, and they start singing a penis to vagina, and it's like, this is real? I thought that was a fake clip until I watched the movie where they're singing the songs. She's like, I see. And they're singing the songs, and then, like, she goes to the cartel guy and is like, all right, I did it. Surgery's tomorrow, or whatever the fuck. And he's like, great. I've always wanted to be a woman. And then he sings a little song about wanting to be a woman. Like, where the fuck did this come from? That's not why you're doing it. Then 5 years pass, or whatever, however long. And then Zoe Saldana meets the woman, and the woman wants to see her kids. And so they're like, okay, cool. We'll fly Selena Gomez out here with your kids and just tell them all you're their Aunt Linda or whatever, and they'll all just believe that and come live with you at your house. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger with nothing on it. Like, I was like, this is ass. This sucks. And I'm halfway through the movie, I'm like, wow, people really weren't joking. Like, this is a lot going on, and it's not good. Like, none of it is good. And then they're doing something, and then they'll just break into song, and you're reading I hate, okay, I don't want to say I hate subtitles, because I don't. If it's a movie where they're speaking a different language, and I don't speak the language, okay, yes, we're reading subtitles so I know what you're saying. But if I'm watching an English language movie, if I can help it, I'm not watching with subtitles because they're distracting. I'm not watching. If I don't need them, I'm not using them, because if I'm reading, I'm not watching the thing. This movie went back and forth, English, Spanish, and there's subtitles while they're singing.
Spanglish.
But, like, they're Spanish, and, like, the words don't rhyme. So, like, they're singing, and I'm reading, trying to make sense of the lyrics that don't rhyme. And then Zoe Saldana's up on a fucking table, like, kicking the drinks off the table, singing. I'm like,
sounds like the best part of the movie.
This big mess of a film. But I was like, okay, maybe the Golden Globes nominate it because they have the musical comedy category. It is a musical. This is the Hollywood Foreign Press, so this is something that probably came more to their attention. Okay, I didn't really have a problem with its Golden Globe nominations, because they nominate shitty movies at the Globes all the time. Or, like, not even shitty, but it's like remember, like, The Greatest Showman, like, ran the Golden Globes that year, and it was like, that's not that it's shitty, it's a good movie, but I was like, that's not like an Oscar contender. Like, let's be real, like, it's not gonna get a bunch of, and it didn't. But it's like, for this movie to have gotten 13 nominations, that's like more than, like, the Lord of the Rings. Like, that's insane. Because Lord of the Rings didn't get, like, acting nominations.
How many nominations did it get? 13?
13.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, well, at least Return of the King got 11. They went for 11, but you're going to tell me this movie is better than Lord? No way. And the thing is, this, though, is like...
It's going to win at least 4.
It did touch on some important matters that are happening right now in the world to some people. And there are certain important things that it touched on. That being said, you still got to make a good movie.
Yeah, they didn't.
You just can't throw this issue or that issue in a movie and expect. And I feel like the Oscars, the people that that went through the Oscars to for them to get a nominee for Best Picture, it was like they hit these points, and you said they checked the boxes, so we're going to nominate it.
And it's like they threw their all the weight behind this movie. Like I said, like, having a movie that checks the boxes, it's like, hey, yeah, you should be looking for that. But it's like, oh, this is the first trans actress in history to get an Oscar. It's like, yes,
that's huge.
And now look what they did.
But it's like, you zoom out. Hunter Schafer was great in Cuckoo. That's a movie that would never be taken seriously at the Oscars. I understand that. But there are trans actors and actresses doing awesome shit all the time. I'm like, you don't, like I said, yeah, check your boxes. Like, look and make sure you're looking for this, whatever. You don't have to, like, dig. It's not like, oh, we need a black actress in the actress category.
That's the mindset that they have, though.
Yep, I agree.
It's like, okay, if you want to have that, it's like, if that's happening, which I'm sure it is, they'd be like, we got to actually have one person be this or whatever. It's not like you have to dig, like, oh shit, we got to go all the way back to February to find a trans actress in a movie. It's like, oh, just watch them. You hear these stories about like the voters who don't get to like watching all the movies, or it's like, I couldn't watch The Brutalist because I didn't have 3.5 hours. And it's like, so you're not going to vote for it for anything? Like, that's insane. It's like, just because Emilia Perez was on Netflix, you watched it. It's like, oh, my friend was involved with Emilia Perez. I love Selena Gomez. It's like, that's fucking crazy to me. And clearly also like something like no one is talking about, but it's like Netflix clearly strong-armed their way into the awards season with this movie. Like whoever is in charge of campaigning their stuff, doing the Weinstein shit, where it's like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll give you this, and you make Shakespeare in Love win Best Picture. And it's like, fuck. That's like realistically now, I'm kind of feeling like it can't really win any Oscars. I feel like Zoe Saldana is really trying to like
save face.
Yeah, like she's kind of the front runner for supporting actress for whatever.
I think she'll win. I think she will. I think she'll win.
Still have a shot, but like realistically, it's like anybody you put on the stage to represent the movie at this point after this controversy, what are they gonna say? Thank you to everyone involved in the movie. Boo! Like it's just gonna be like, no, boo.
And that's why I feel bad for the people that put the effort and time to make this movie. Because look, I've never made a movie. I don't intend to make a movie. But everybody, when they write a movie or try to make one, it's more, you try to make when you go into this, you're trying to make the best movie possible. And there's other controversies revolving this movie, especially with now, Carlos Villargason. You know what I mean? Like that alone, that's shit. That really damages this movie, what was put out there and all that. But I feel like Zoe Saldana is, out of everybody, has the best shot to win any award.
Yeah.
Because it's like the shitty part is this is, we all love Selena Gomez. I love Selena Gomez. I thought she was solid in the movie, but she's also she got nominated as well in this movie, but it's also the same category as Zoe Saldana, and Zoe Saldana...
she didn't get an Oscar nomination.
Not for the Oscars.
Oh, she did it.
No.
Or was that the Golden Globe? Was that for the Golden Globe? Okay. But I think Zoe Saldana, at the end of the day, does win. That's what I hope. But I think that might be the only award. Not what's going on, what they might get, because technically she has nothing to do with all this controversy. You know what I mean? She has, you know what I mean?
She's like the only one who, she like immediately, like, I don't know if she was just in an interview or whatever, and somebody brought it up, and like it was pretty pitiful, but she was like, it just sucks because I don't agree with it. It's like, we know. Mm-hmm. She said, like, it was basically, somebody said, like, it was the equivalent of her saying, this is going to ruin the tour.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But, like, that's my thing with it, like, and I've seen other people say this, too. It's like, we begged y'all not to nominate this, but 13 fucking nominations. Like, that's out of control. Like, we're talking, like, La La Land might have gotten, like, 12 or something like that. Like, Titanic might have gotten 13 nominations. I'm trying here's the thing, Nick and Randy. If this, besides say Zoe Saldana winning, take that away. If it wins for any other categories, do you think it would be because it justfully deserved it? No. And I'm saying that, like, it's got songs nominated. It's like, I don't remember those shits. Yeah. Those songs were like nothing. Like the song category in general.
I've been waiting to bring that up.
Is like nothing.
It's nominated for 2 songs.
2 songs. That doesn't happen.
Wicked didn't get any.
Well, which makes no sense. That makes no sense.
fairness, I don't think any of the Wicked songs are original.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I don't think. I've seen the film. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all the songs they sing are from the show.
Well, then Moana
Like,
didn't get
William
any.
did a song for Better Man, and it didn't get nominated. And there was something else where they were like, "Oh, we can't nominate this song." And it was like, "Man, fuck you."
What is?
I heard Better Man isn't as bad as what it's not. It didn't do well in the box office, but I heard it's not a bad movie.
It's the best movie I've ever seen. It's all I care about now. It's the only thing I've cared about for 3 weeks. It's the best movie of all time. It should be nominated in every Emilia Perez category.
Rocket wasn't here last episode.
No, it doesn't. No, it's the best movie ever.
And like I said, I'm intrigued to seeing it. Like I said, with all the craziness going on, I haven't had a chance. I think the last movie I saw was Nosferatu. Like, that's the last movie. I just haven't had a chance. I want to see Dogman. Oh, no, excuse me. I saw Wolfman. But there's like other shit I got to catch up and see. It's been crazy at work and all that. I just haven't had a chance. So
it's still playing around you. It's not playing around me at all anymore, but go. Just go see it in the theater. Just carve out like 2 hours. Just go. You won't be like, shit, I should have done laundry. That was the best thing I've ever seen. It's all I've cared about for 3 weeks.
Emilia Perez is nominated for Best Sound.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Like, is it against Dune or some fucking shit?
It's against A Complete Unknown. It's against Dune. It's against Wicked, and it's against The Wild Robot. I've seen I've seen 3 of those, and they all had better sound than Emilia Perez.
Oh, absolutely.
Dune, like, let's be serious here. Like, use of sound. It's like, how are we not nominating, like, A Quiet Place? It's like we did our horror movie of the year as The Substance.
Yeah.
We're committed to The Substance. It's like, you're barely committed to that. I liked The Substance a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun, really good. It wasn't even my favorite horror movie of the year. Like, lucky to get its little technicals. I was like, you could have nominated that for a lot more.
This weekend did keep the trend of great lead horror actress performances cooking.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's another actress from the horror genre that was like, oh, fuck, that was really great. The cinematography in Nosferatu is crazy, and I feel like Emilia Perez is probably nominated for that shit. Are we being serious?
Yes, it is.
Are we serious?
The Brutalist, Dune, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu got cinematography.
The part in Nosferatu where Nicholas Hoult is like walking down the road and he clicks on the carriage and they stop and they like are having the stare up. I felt like my soul was leaving my body. Like, I was like, this is the best movie. Like, this is just what are we doing? This is like the weirdest Oscar year. Last year was so good. Last year the movies were so good that like I rewatched all of them like before the Oscars just to like, I don't know, like I was like having fun. Like, they were all kind of available. So I was like, let's go. Like, American Fiction was great. Nobody even talks about that movie. That movie was so good. And I was There's a Flower Moon, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Barbie, The Holdovers. Like, I was like watching all of them, like, not The Holdovers because it's Christmas, but I was watching all of them like the week leading up just to like, almost like it was a holiday. Like, I was like, oh man, the Oscars come and then it's over and I can't watch these anymore. And that's not true, but it was just like, yay. I'm not going to do that with anything this year.
You better rewatch Emilia Perez.
Fuck no. I watched it. I didn't know that came on. And then I watched it right after Christmas. I was like, okay, I'll do that for the end of the year to get a rating out. And I was just sitting there with my fucking Christmas tree in the background. And I was like, this is it. It was Christmas 2 days ago, and I was happy.
Well, the funny thing about it, too, is like all these movies, we just talked about Emilia Perez, right? You still got The Brutalist, that whole controversy with the AI and with the accent and all that. You got other stuff going on. It's like, it's coming down to, by default, it's going to be the movie A, movie B, or movie C. Like, I'll be honest with you, I have yet to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'm just waiting for it to come out on 4K. Conclave. I heard that movie was fantastic.
Conclave rocks.
And I want to definitely see that.
What is happening with the Oscars is like really funnily similar to the plot of Conclave.
Funny.
It was because like Conclave, it's not to spoil because there's really nothing to spoil. It's like Conclave is just one of those movies like you look at and you're just like bunch of old popes, like bunch of old guys like voting for the Pope. How are we? It rated PG for smoking, and it's like okay, yeah, but it's like fun in a way that you can't really describe. But it's just like they're doing this vote, and just as time goes on, things are presenting themselves in little twists and turns, and it's like, oh shit! It's like it becomes like a weird kind of election, and it's just the Oscars are turning into that. Like there's somebody behind the scenes who were like, "Little Birdie told me the Brutalist uses AI," which I'm gonna say something that's like controversial.
Do it.
I don't care. Once I read all the like specifics of how they used it and what they used it for, it's not like it replaced anyone's job, which that's my thing. I'm like, AI, like Coke used it to make their fucking Christmas commercial last year. I'm like, kill yourself. Fuck you. You put like animators out of business. You put actors and musicians out of business. Kill yourself. Fuck you. This, to my knowledge, the sound guy used it like an app, like a tool to just like tweak like the narration points that are supposed to have like thick accents, and he just like tweaked it to make it sound a little more, authentic. And I guess they used it in some of the like big like pan out scenes with like some of the architecture. I'm like, okay, cool. It's also like, what were they with the budget they were given? Were they gonna like hire a fucking team to go out there and build a bunch of shit? Like the movie is about architecture, and I'm just like, I can't make myself care like as much as like some people are pretending to care about it. I'm like, it sounds like they used it as a tool. It doesn't sound like it replaced any aspect of the crew to like shock the brutalist. Be a robot. It's like that's not what the movie's about at all. Just sounds like they used it as a tool. I can't make myself care, especially when the movie was as good as it was.
Well, the funny thing is this though is I also read that they used it with Adrian Brody's accent.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like that's what I read. I was like, oh fuck. They said no. The performances are the performances, but there's pieces in the movie where it's narrated in Aryan or whatever. Is that right? Anyway, I've seen the movie, and I'm like, is that right? They put the narration piece, they added it to make those just sound more authentic, I guess, just so it sounded better. Because most of the movie, they're speaking English or like struggling to speak English. Most of it is about them getting acclimated to life in America. It's really good. It's really good. Like how this isn't just the clear front runner of the award season is kind of troubling. It's like, I don't want to be like it's the Oppenheimer of this year, but like it kind of is when you look at the other nominations. And it's like, I loved Wicked. I thought Wicked was great, but I'm like, to me, I'm like, good. It deserves its nominations. There's not all that many. There's a few. I got controversial picks for actors, but like, and honestly, I'm like, good for
Chalamet.
Wicked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get pissed until Emilia Perez wins Best Animation.
I'm pulling for Ray Fiennes.
I need Chalamet not win for this Bob Dylan movie.
Where's Ray Fiennes is where Best Actor?
Yep.
Conclave,
I think.
Yeah. I haven't seen. I've only seen A Complete Unknown.
Yeah. Better than A Complete Unknown. Like it blows my mind that like they exist in the same like timeline. Like A Complete Unknown was not bad. It was good.
It was safe.
It was good, but yes, it's like we always talk about on here.
Bob Dylan policed the story.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I was like, but it's like we always talk about, like, if you've seen Walk Hard, it's just so hard to shake that. Like A Complete Unknown does that. it is just I read Bob Dylan's Wikipedia, and now I'm touching on this. Better Man isn't like that at all. And the thing about Better Man is Robbie Williams was involved with it, like
It's better,
heavily.
man.
And it's like usually you think, oh, well, Queen is involved. They don't want to make, themselves look bad. They don't want to make Freddie Mercury look like he was, going crazy in the 80s. It's just like, okay, so let's make it PG-13. It's like, no, he was involved in every aspect of it. It's really like warts and all. And they kind of get away with it more because he's a monkey. Anyway, the Bob Dylan movie was like not bad. It was not bad. Chalamet was good. I thought the music sequences, were very. I thought he's up there singing with Joan Baez. It's like, oh, this is magic. But like,
Monica Barbaro is magic.
There's got to be more to it. Like, there's parts of it that I just didn't believe because they didn't explain it. They were just like, Bob Dylan he's weird Bob Dylan now. He's sunglasses Bob Dylan now. I'm like, what happened? What'd he go through? Is he on black tar heroin? What is he? As he sunglasses Bob Dylan now. And everyone in the movie is mad that he's sunglasses electric Bob Dylan now. I'm like, we haven't explained why he is this. And it's like, yeah, man, because he's a complete unknown. And it's like, no, fuck you. That's not how storytelling works.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like I don't know any more about Bob Dylan than I did. And they're like, that's the point, man. He's unknown. That's not the point. They made a movie 15 years ago called I'm Not There about Bob Dylan, where Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, and Cate Blanchett, and a fourth one played Bob Dylan like in different aspects of his life. And I'm like, see, that's a way more interesting way to tell that kind of story because, he's like this big enigma. But I'm like, if you're going to make the biopic about Bob Dylan, I need explanation. I need to feel like I know Bob Dylan the way I knew Ray Charles. The way, even like Johnny Cash. It's like, I didn't know that about Johnny Cash. I didn't know that into drugs. Like, that's crazy. I didn't know all that. I didn't know how he met June Carter Cash. And this is just like, he met Joan Baez at a show, and they did the Return of the Jedi nod a couple times.
Oh yeah.
They were hooking up. It's like, okay, I guess that's how life works.
While he was with Elle Fanning.
Yeah, and it's like, and there are people, it's like Adrian Brody 20 some odd years ago when he won for Pianist, which was an amazing performance. He was 29 and he was the youngest Best Actor winner in history, which is like bizarre. So it's like there's somebody out there who thinks it's poetic that Adrian Brody's nominated again against Timothée Chalamet, who, if he were to win, would be the youngest Best Actor winner by a matter of months. There's somebody out there who's going to vote for Chalamet just for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can see that.
He's like, I didn't see Brutalist, but I think that's kind of funny. I like Chalamet when he's on SNL, and I'm like, we can't do it. We have to zoom out and be like, he was not better than Adrian Brody was in The Brutalist. Ray Fiennes is really good in Conclave. It's a really understated performance. I have not seen Sing Sing. I can't fucking find it anywhere. It played at my theater
for one day.
Weeks ago for 2 days, and it was supposed to be playing the next week. And I said, okay, my day off, I'll go see it. And just drive down there and go see it. And they pulled it from the theater.
Trash.
So I got to see Nickel Boys a couple days ago, but I could not see Sing Sing in the theater. I'll figure it out, but it's like I haven't seen Coleman Domingo. I'm willing to bet that he's better than Chalamet. I'm willing to go all in. I'll be like, I'll bet Coleman Domingo's performance, whatever it may be, is better than a complete unknown, which I didn't hate, but it was just like, yeah.
I just fit the puzzle pieces together. Guy Pearce talking about how shit he was in Memento is a sympathy play for supporting actor.
Guy Pearce is fucking great in The Brutalist. Again, I don't know how...
Is he better than Kieran Culkin?
Yes.
Damn.
Kieran Culkin is really...
Damn.
Kieran Culkin is really good. He's really good. He's also kind of like similar to how he is in real life. When you see him talk, he's real, you know.
That's what I'm.
That into the performance, and it's what makes the performance effective. He's really good. He's probably going to win. It's not like he doesn't deserve it. Like, Guy Pearce is fucking great in The Brutalist, and I don't understand why he isn't, like... There's, like, Kieran Culkin's, like, the clear front runner. And I'm like, why aren't we treating this like there's competition? Because, like, there is. So good.
What about Jeremy Strong? Like, I think the whole Succession thing right there is pretty funny.
Jeremy Strong is good. I don't think that movie's winning anything. I think it's really cool that they nominated the acting performances for The Apprentice, because the movie's, it's pretty punk rock, that movie. I just was just like, Sebastian Stan is doing some of the coolest shit right now. Like, people talk, you like, you being involved with Marvel, like, just kills your career or whatever. And I'm like, he's like involved with Marvel right now. Like, he's in the thick of it right now. And he's doing like the coolest shit. Like, he's doing like some of the bravest, weirdest roles that, like, a lot of people, like, they didn't even want to have him involved with the actors on actors variety thing, because they didn't want anybody to talk about the Trump movie.
Oh, The Apprentice.
What is
it called?
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice, yep.
It's good. It's really good. His performance is really good, and it's because he's not doing any of the shit. He's not doing any of this China. He's not doing any of it. It's a really just straightforward thing.
Keep going with that.
Not doing.
Man got a knack for these impressions, man.
China. He's not doing any of the hands or the lips. But you believe it. Like, as you're watching it, you're like, yes. And it, like, nuances him character without making him, like, sympathetic, really. It's just a really, like, here you go. Here's what happened. Here's how it happened. And it wasn't great.
Trump himself didn't become a cartoon character until social media started.
I don't know about that.
But also, didn't he do a movie, like you were saying, A Different Man, right? That's the other one he did.
Man is out of control. That movie's insane. It got a makeup nomination, which is almost, like, kind of fucked up. But, like, yeah, his performance in A Different Man is nuts. It's crazy. And it got nominated as a comedy at the Golden Globes, which I guess it is.
The Martian's a comedy.
It's
how? I don't know.
It's like, it made me laugh, but kind of like the meme, like, what the fuck? Like, you're looking around like, what the fuck is going on? It becomes a really different movie by the end than you think it's going to be. I don't know. Like, it's very bizarre. But yeah, I'm like, Sebastian Stan, even just getting the nomination, you know he's not going to win.
No.
But I'm like, to me, I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Right.
Like, that's pretty cool.
That he did the movie Fresh last year.
Fresh was a banger.
He's doing, like, the coolest shit outside of Marvel. And then, you know, Zoe Saldana is also nominated for an Oscar this year. And it's like, there you go.
Is she still involved, though?
Builds your career. Oh, no.
Downey got his... It's like, Downey, like, swerved the Academy. Okay, Iron Man died. I'm out. Oscar winner. Okay, I'm back.
I think it's fun. Like, you know, Florence Pugh is kind of an awards darling. I think she's unjustly ignored.
Oh, man.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh,
Amelia
man.
Perez. The fuck?
Yes.
Pull Amelia Perez out and replace it with something.
We live in time.
The bike riders got ignored this year.
Because it came out in summer.
Yeah, it got ignored. Dune, like, it's so funny. Like, to me, Dune Part 2 was better than Part 1 on every level.
I think I agree.
I didn't even love Part 1. Like, I was like, this is kind of boring, man. Like, this is, everything's in slow motion. Like, come on, man.
It's good.
And just
there's a lot of sand. Their eyes are blue.
Was just better in Part 2. I thought the acting was better. The effect, you know, it was just a bigger scale. So we had the worms and we had all the shit. And it was just like, wow, this is just better. Austin Butler and all those, everything happened. This is just better. This is better than part one. And like its nominations, it got half the nominations that the first one got. It got like 5.
Yep, which I'm shocked.
It pulled your best picture, but it's like it still feels like pity nomination. It's like they were like, fuck, we can't ignore Dune 2.
But not
we?
director.
It was like,
Don't even get me started.
And it's like, it's bullshit. Like, how do you deny that? Like, every so often, which it's really rare, but you'll have a movie like Get Out that comes out in February, or like Black Panther, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, where it will come out, or The Silence of the Lambs came out like early in its year.
Yeah.
Where it comes out and just stays relevant to like an inescapable degree all year. Like it comes out and just everyone's still talking about Get Out come like October. And it's like, fuck, we have to nominate this, don't we? Like we can't ignore this movie. Can we? Shit. It's almost like they get mad.
Is like, Lambs won Best Picture, right?
Silence of the Lambs, yeah.
Is that the earliest calendar release to ever win Best Picture?
Probably. I remember Crash came out, I want to say March or April of its year.
Did it win in 2005?
It sure fucking did. And it's considered arguably the worst Best Picture winner.
Its domestic release was May of 2005.
Was it May?
Yeah.
It's just funny. I don't even hate Crash. Like people...
I can't remember the last time I watched it.
I'm like, I don't hate it.
It was all right.
It's kind of like Audacity. It's like, I'll give him points for like trying to say something. It just maybe failing, but like the performances are good, whatever. But when you look at what it was nominated against, it's insane. It's like Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Munich, and what was the fourth one? Something better.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Huh?
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Could have been.
Nah.
That's another conversation. They never nominate comedies for shit. Real Pain didn't pull a Best Picture nomination.
That's what I'm saying. Kieran Culkin got his recognition, but Eisenberg did not.
Well, he wrote it, so technically he is nominated for an Oscar.
And directed.
He directed it though, and acted in it. Very good. What was the fourth one? Now I'm stuck on this. What was the fourth one in 2005?
Let me get a glimpse of these warlocks.
Munich, Brokeback Mountain, Capote.
2005 Academy Awards.
And
take place in 2005.
Crash.
Let's go to this other one.
Good Night and Good Luck.
Probably.
Or was that the
winners and nominees? I'm almost there. Best Picture: Crash, Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich.
Let's fucking go. I'm old. All of those. And you look at it now, and it's like Brokeback Mountain should have won, right? Like easily.
No.
Or Capote was really great. It's Crash. No. So I think, I don't think of Amelia Perez now. I don't think it wins Best Picture. I think we saved the Oscars.
This conversation right here. Yeah. I told y'all though, I'm gonna be pissed when Amelia Perez wins Best Animation.
Yeah, fuck that. That's another thing. Well, not really, but these animated movies that just come out of nowhere. They've been doing it for a couple years now. I'm like, you're just plucking these animated movies. I had never even heard of Flow.
I mean, that's the one it's either, I think it's going to be between that or Wild Robot.
Well, then that one's probably going to win.
Wild Robot.
A few days ago.
I would love to see Wallace and Gromit. But
I
think Gromit was fun. I'm I'm pro Wallace and Gromit. I watched Flow, and it was really cool. There's no dialogue in it at all.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's like Dogman.
It's kind of like Homeward Bound, a bunch of animals. It's almost like in a post-apocalypse, the world has flooded, and they're
one cat survived,
trying to survive, and it's good, but the Wild Robot made me hyperventilate. At that point, I was just ooh. Like, I was like, no fucking way. Like, oh, the geese are flying. Like, I can't handle it. I'm like, just when a movie makes you feel like that, I'm like, this is the obvious front runner, right?
Justice for Inside Out.
And then somebody tells you no, it's not. I'm like,
fuck you.
What are you watching? I'm like, okay, so then it's up too, right? That made me choked up a little bit. And they're like, no. It's this movie about a snail that we made up.
Basically.
My life as a snail? What the fuck is that? And like last year, the year before, something like that, there was a movie called like My Robot Dreams or My Robot Life or something like that. I'm like, you made that up. That's not real. But what are the other like weird things? I think it's weird that A Complete Unknown got 8 nominations. I really do. Like that's
8 nominations.
Like 8? That's insane. It was the 3rd best musical biopic of the year.
Oh yeah, Eisenberg did get nominated. What was second?
Pharrell movie.
Oh. Well, that animation's too unique. They're not going to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Pharrell and Better Man, they were like, okay, we've got these biopics that when you zoom out are kind of similar. Like, Better Man it hits a lot of those same beats. Young guy comes up in fame, gets a lot of fame, gets hooked on drugs or whatever, becomes an alcoholic, ruins the relationship, does this, tries to have the comeback. It hits similar, like, familiar beats, but the way that they tell the story is very unique. And the fact that he's a monkey, it's like, I've never seen this before. Every frame of the film is like something you've never seen before. I've never seen a monkey do cocaine. I've never seen it. It was awesome. Never seen a monkey get shot. I don't need to see it again. But like, I was like, you know what? I saw it now. It's a part of me. The Pharrell movie is all Legos.
That movie's great.
It's like, how can I tell my story in a way that is unique, wholly unique? And it's like Legos. Everybody's gonna be Legos. It's gonna be a Lego movie.
I don't understand how drug dealing Legos didn't get nominated.
There's a scene in Piece by Piece where fucking Pusha T is selling crack on the street.
Yep.
Counting his Lego money and going. He's like Fro calls him and he's like, "Hey man, I got this beat. Get here in 5 minutes, or I'm selling it to Jay-Z." He's like, "Oh shit!" And he runs across the town. He's fucking Lego crack money. I'm like,
I'm yo Pusha.
Yep, that's the one.
This is amazing, and you won't find a movie with better music. Like, it's like it talks about everything he did as a producer, as a writer, as a solo artist with NERD, and it's like all these eras of music, and it's like, wow, hit after hit after hit. The soundtrack to this movie is amazing. Nothing. We got nothing.
Also, I didn't even know, like, I knew he was a producer, but there's some, like, when he was working with No Doubt, I didn't know he even worked with No Doubt back then.
That was the shit. And it was like, oh, that was him. Yeah, he was the reason they kind of, like, wanted to change their sound and started doing the rock steady. And it was like...
Yep. I didn't even know that, like, he even was involved with them. I was like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, everybody on there, Justin Timberlake, talking about, like, I really wanted to make a statement with my, first solo album and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I remember listening to that when I was, like, 13. And
Justified
like,
was a
so
banger.
much better. Yeah. Nothing. It got nothing. The Academy watched it and were like, I don't get it. Here's a movie about a snail. Let's nominate the snail movie, which might be great. I've never seen it, but it's like you pulled that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Transformers.
That's crazy.
No Transformers. No Transformers. It's too nerdy. Too much. We can't nominate Transformers. It's like Spider-Man was nominated last year.
Emilia Perez got 13. That's enough trans. Sorry, Transformers.
Sorry, Transformers. Fuckers.
The sad thing about it, though, is, I mean, it's going to win a couple awards. That's the shitty. Not that it's shitty, but it's like, is it going to win the ones that it should win?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's going to beat some shit that is better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What? And I'm not even saying that, like, as a hater.
No.
Like looking at it, like what is it nominated for cinematography?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was in contention with like Dune or Nosferatu or The Brutalist or even Conclave, which I don't think got nominated. Which
no, it's Emilia Perez, Dune Part 2, Brutalist, and Nosferatu. To me, I haven't seen The Brutalist, but to me, it's a 2-movie race. It's either Dune Part 2 or Nosferatu. I haven't seen The Brutalist.
You would think.
The Brutalist is there.
Okay, but I saw parts of Emilia, like I said, I saw parts of Emilia Perez. I didn't see the whole movie. I saw parts of it here and there.
The parts that she kept or the new parts?
There's nothing.
Penis to vagina. I see. And it's like, it's up for 2 songs. Is that one of the songs?
I hope so.
Because
I hope so.
Songs
but they said that no best song nominees will be performed this year, and I guarantee that's why.
That's what I'm like. I see.
Yo, Rocket, what does El Mai mean?
What?
What does El Mai mean?
El Mai?
Yeah. One of the songs.
El Mai.
ELMAL, my bad. El Mel.
And men, it can mean this is the thing is when it comes to Spanish, certain things could mean certain things for different dialects. That's the crazy part. For example, I grew up saying el carro. El carro, it means the car, but in Mexico it's el autobús. El autobús, or in Spain, that's the car. And autobús to me is a bus. So it depends on what dialect or like where they're trying to reference that comes from. So that could mean a bunch of different things.
It means penis vagina.
It could mean el mil, could mean the million. Because that's what, when you say, tú tienes un mil, that means you have a mil, like a million. But it could, like, I don't know, different dialects, it could mean different things. To me, that's what that means.
Like different dialects. And then there's the way the actresses say it, which could be completely fucking different because apparently they're bad at using the dialects.
And then Mi Camino is the other song.
Is that the song Zoe Saldana's Table?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, Selena Gomez sings a song. It's just insane. Another thing that Better Man does way better, it is a musical. It is kind of like Rocket Man in that it is a biopic that has musical numbers that represent, different stages of his life, and he sees his life as more of like a performance art type thing, and it works on every level. It works. It's so great. And then every musical sequence in Emilia Perez was like jarring to me. Like I was like, they're singing now. That's
also El Mil, it depends. Like El Mil also could mean in the thousands, like 1,000. It's a mil. It's a thou. It's a K.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a Lil Wayne remix.
Yeah.
Think of anything in the movie. I'm like,
I'm trying not to think of what I saw in the movie. It was that bad. It wasn't good.
You saw the surgery.
It's not. It's not like but the thing is, it's not even like I feel like I'm in the minority this year. Like a couple of years ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of just ran award season,
and I thought it was okay. That movie,
overrated.
I didn't hate it, but I was like, people acted like it was this unbelievably unique thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's a unique for like award season, but
recency
like Rick and Morty
bias.
did it every week. Like Rick and Morty do something and they go and it's hot dog fingers, and that's not even like the weirdest thing they do that day. I'm like, okay, so I just didn't get it. Like I watched the whole theater and like the raccoony, like with the raccoon, I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. And then they just kept doing it, and then they were rocks, and I was like, this didn't hit for me.
The rocks talking to each other.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't get the hype at all.
And you didn't even smell what the rocks were cooking
that year because people loved it. There were people that just loved that movie. There are people that still love that movie. there are people that have come to be like, yeah, that movie was overrated. But overall, that year, I felt like, well, I get Best Picture.
I'll tell you this right now. I like to collect Best Picture winners.
Yeah.
So obviously, I got it in my collection. I'm upset. Like Coda won Best Picture. It's a physical media, but it's not here in the U.S. It's like in Italy or something like that. Okay. If Amelia Perez wins Best Picture,
I was about to say, it's crazy for you that you ain't
out.
about to be able to buy Amelia Perez.
I'm out.
Nah, you can't skip a year.
It's
I will.
I have, like, maybe I would have. But, like, now, it's like, dude, it's like, I'm never going to watch it again.
Unless
it's like an assignment. So I was like, why would I buy it? Truly, honestly.
Does Anora have a chance at any wins?
It's better than most of the thing. Like, it's a great movie.
And that had controversy around it.
A little. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't really care. It sounds like set was fine. The choice. It sounds like that's something they were all cool with, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
So I can't care.
And that's the thing is, I agree with you, Nick. It feels like I understand you're supposed to have with movies like that, people in certain positions to help with that.
Yeah.
But just because you don't have an intimacy coordinator?
Yeah.
It's like they broke the rules or something. You're supposed to have something like that with a type. I'm like, I don't give a shit like that.
I think it's a rule.
Was they really getting busy?
Hey, man.
They were fucking in that movie.
Clapping cheeks.
That movie was great. I really liked Anora. And something else about Anora is all the movies that I saw in the theater last year, outside of maybe something like Deadpool, where
the true Best Picture,
everybody's going to laugh at it and it's going to be heightened to 1,000 and everybody's just going to freak out and love all of it. Outside of maybe something like that, there's like a sequence in the movie Anora that got the most like loudest genuine laughter from a crowd at a movie, like of any movie I saw last year. There's just a sequence that's maybe like 10, 15 minutes long that just keeps getting more and more out of control and like out of hand and like goofier, almost to like a Looney Tunes degree. And it just keeps going and going and going. And you're like, you don't know where it's going. And it feels kind of realistic because it's like, Jesus Christ, like, what do you even do in this situation? And it just keeps going and going. And like, my theater was like losing it. Like, people were like doubled over, like, what the fuck? Like, screaming, like, what the fuck? Like, I heard a guy just going, oh my God. And it was really funny. And I was like, it's not really getting enough like credit, like, as a comedy. I was like, this is like a real comedy, like, nominated this year. And then there's parts of it that are very kind of sad. And,
gotta appreciate goofy shit in the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. It's probably the best Sean Baker movie I've watched. I haven't seen every one of his movies.
Really?
I liked it more than Red Rocket. I liked it more than The Florida Project.
What else is there? Tangerine?
I've never seen Tangerine. That's like, was kind of his like breakout movie, sort of, to my knowledge. And then I think he did a couple before that I've also never seen. Sorry, Sean. If you're listening, Sean, I'm a fan. I consider myself a fan. Anora was great. I think it earned its nominations. Its cinematography was unique. Its performances were really good. The supporting guy is almost like he wasn't really in the running until people saw the movie, which is kind of funny because it's a very subdued performance. But like, he's good.
Yura Borisov.
Yeah, he's very good. Like, his character ends up being like integral to the story, and it's like, okay, I get it. I get kind of why he emerged as sort of, because he's just ends up being like a memorable part of the movie. Also worth noting, another like performance that got nothing was the last Showgirl. Like I said, Pamela Anderson was like in contention for actress. Another one who could have just been nominated. She was great. Dave Bautista is in that movie. Unironically, like, there's nothing action about it. He's not really like a tough guy. He's like the guy who works at the like showgirl place, and he's kind of got like a wig, like he's got like long hair. He's great. It's completely understated, subdued performance. They got nothing. He got nothing.
So,
like they didn't even campaign him. He's great. I'm like, The Rock would never even read this script.
boom. Now,
The Rock played that role. And
give me my propers. I've been saying Bautista had the better career than The Rock for 2, 3, 4 years.
Doing it better, and it's like, I think it was it's like I saw that, and then a few days later, I went and saw that movie Presence, the haunted house movie, and it had the trailer for that movie with him and Mila Jovovich.
Oh yeah, that W.S. Anderson we were talking about.
Both. He's doing both. It's happening. Like, why can't anybody? He's doing both. He's really good in The Last Showgirl. It was a really good movie.
So who do you take the nomination from to plug them in?
You have to campaign. Like, it's annoying that it has to be that way. But it's like you have to campaign.
It's like
it sucks.
When fans always bitch about who makes NBA All-Star. My favorite player didn't get it. So who do you take off to plug your favorite player in? They're still good. They still bust their ass. They're still deserving.
Support actor. See, it's like most things. Yeah, like that's where I'm at. I'm like, you have to take somebody out to add somebody in. Like a few years ago, like when the Oscars So White thing was really at its like peak, that was kind of the big thing where it was like, who do you take out though? And it's like, it's not really a matter of who you take out, but it's like you should have been looking at the bigger picture to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's also the same thing. It ends up being, it's like you're taking these performances that are worthy of awards conversation, like genuinely, and you put them together. Nobody's going to bitch. Nobody's going to bitch. There's somebody of color who is giving an awards caliber performance that you're not even watching. There is a trans actor or actress who is giving a great performance in a movie that you've never heard of because, like, Roadshow Pictures couldn't afford to campaign the movie. And it's, like, annoying because Netflix is clearly just like, look at our fucking golden goose of a movie. It's a musical. It's got all this stuff.
We're going to increase on the subscription prices just so we can pay off the Academy.
And it's like, there are movies that deal with all of these subjects. There are actors who, like you said, like, will check these boxes. They are doing it better, and you could have easily found something. Like, you could have done it. Just somebody, like I said, I said Hunter Schafer was really great in the movie Cuckoo. They would never nominate that, but I'm like, that just it came off my head immediately. It was like, there's a trans actress.
Yeah.
Right there, boom.
I don't care if all the nominees are all black, all white, all trans, all Asian. I don't give a fuck. I just want the best of the best nominated and deserving.
Yeah, and like sometimes it is that. Sometimes it's like, but it's like usually, no matter what happens, you can find somebody and be like, well, this was better. Angelina Jolie was better than some of these nominees, but it's like, okay, they didn't like necessarily not deserve to be nominated. You only get 5 slots.
Wasn't that on Netflix?
Slots, yes, you should be looking at the full spectrum. If you have to be like, okay, well, we have to be, it's like, okay, we have to nominate something different, something with, and it's like, okay, you have the cream of the crop here. I mean, every year, great movies come out. People act like movies are dead. And it's like, no, great movies are still coming out. We're just, it's all just different now. It's like the way that Netflix couldn't even get their their movies nominated for Best Picture, like years ago. We're talking within 10 years. Like, they didn't nominate Netflix movies for anything. Like, they were like, that's not real. And now they can. And it sucks in a way, but it's also like, movies are still good. Yeah. There's good movies that come on Netflix all the time. It just...
Here's my question.
Right once. Like, it's a matter of just... Okay, Joker Folie à Deux was bad.
No.
But Amelia Perez was not bad? Like, what are we... What's happening here?
Exactly.
But here's my thing is, we have a very controversial movie coming out in March. I don't think they're going to put it on...
Novocaine.
Addington 2.
I don't know if they're going to put out actually on screen or if it's going to stream or what. Magazine Dreams with Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Oh no.
From prior to everything that happened, there was buzz, best, picture, best actor, maybe nominee, depending. If it is true and the hype is actually true to what it was prior to the issues that happened with Jonathan Majors, even if we see the movie and we say it's deserving of all those, I can see the Academy giving it the middle finger, saying no because of what happened, which I think is kind of messed up. Because if we're going to be true to ourselves in the sense of, if you're truly the Academy and you're doing what's best of the best, and this truly deserves it, I think you need to at least nominate it. I mean, don't bullshit me. Say that it's a great movie, but because of no, it's about performance. It's about the movie.
They don't care.
But it came out in March.
Yeah, I'm like,
whatever studio bought it from Disney and Searchlight can't afford the campaign.
Yeah, and I'm saying, like if Kevin Spacey did some movie right now, and it was like the best performance of his career, I don't need him nominated for an Oscar. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, fuck you. They did that with James Franco a few years ago. He was like a shoo-in for Best Actor nomination for The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, but there's Future World.
Is kind of like Me Too shit started coming out after he won a Golden Globe for it. And between that time, so we're talking like a couple weeks maybe, he ended up not getting nominated at all. I don't think the movie got nominated for any Oscars. Denzel was Roman J. Israel. That happens. I think the Casey Affleck thing, which Casey Affleck was far and away the best actor that year for Manchester by the Sea. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's like unbelievable. He was up against like Ryan Gosling for La La Land. I think it was Denzel for Fences. All great. Casey, it was far and away. It was like in another league, like unbelievably good performance. And it was like, he was the best actor. But it's like he won, and it was like real controversial because he had that stuff. It wasn't even as crazy as some other stuff, but it was like he had the stuff coming out, and it was like, and I just don't think they ever want to do that again. Like, I really think they probably, it's like Conclave. Like, they're probably like, just remember, this is going to be reflective of the whole of the Academy. So, it's not like it's 100% they can just change who wins. Those fucking assholes back there with those briefcases, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing in those briefcases. They can change who wins. Not to be that guy, but it's like, these are movies. This isn't the president. If Amelia Perez gets all the votes, they can just write, whoever's like in charge can just write Wicked, and Wicked wins. If it's on the card when fucking Richard Gere comes out and nominates, the winner of Best Picture, or whoever the fuck reads it, that's, as far as he's concerned, Wicked is the winner. So, like, they can do that. I don't see them, even if Amelia Perez gets all the votes, I don't see them giving it 13 Oscars.
Yo, I lost track of time.
Yeah.
We've been going an hour and a half.
Yeah, we never took a break.
No. I was going to push the whole 90 minutes and figure we'd be straight. Y'all want to keep going past 90 minutes?
I can.
But do you want to?
It's up to y'all.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll save it. We can go another 30 or so. Break time. All right. Nick, you wanted 30 more minutes.
I'm done.
Hey, fuck that. I didn't properly sign off. You're going to talk about something.
We're doing this. I mean, what else? Like, there's other nominations. There's movies that were great that didn't get nominated for anything. Like, it's like I said, like, Dune was supposed to come out in November of last year and got pushed because of the writer's strike. I understood, wasn't the Bike Riders was supposed to come out in December of last, or 23. It got pushed to summer. And Challengers, if I'm not mistaken, was originally supposed to come out in 2023, was it not?
What, like Thanksgiving-ish?
Yeah, I think it was.
I forgot about
and it
that.
would have your awards contender, and now it doesn't even get music. This is
Yeah,
a joke.
So here's the question: say Dune did come out last year
it did.
with
Yeah.
Oppenheimer and all that. This year, for some reason, I think it should have gotten way more nominations. It only got 5. It definitely should have got Best Director nomination for Denis Villeneuve, which I
That's
don't
a
understand. Are they just waiting to see him finish the trilogy then nominate? Like, to me, that's dumb. To me, if that's the case, then that's their thing, and that's dumb. But
Got nominated for everything. They just didn't win until Return of the King, where they were like, "Fuck it." Oh, and it's like it deserved like every win. It's not
No.
like it just.
I agree. But the thing is, this is by him not getting nominated. I just don't understand that. I don't get it. I thought Dune should have gotten that at least Best Director nomination and maybe one more. But at the end of the day, getting 5, whatever. But let's say it was shown last year. Does it even get those 5 nominations? Because, like I said, Oppenheimer was something else.
Yeah,
Like it's last great, and like all the movies, there were 2 movies last year that were in the maybe 3. I liked Maestro. Other people didn't love Maestro. I thought it was good. It probably could have taken Maestro's spot, and nobody would have batted an eye. I thought Past Lives was good. I think it was a little overrated.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched it twice, and the first time I watched it, I didn't really get it. I was like, y'all, really? And then, like, on insistence, I watched it a second time and just was a little more comfortable with it. I was like, it's good. It's sweet. It was not on the same level as, like, some of the other ones. I didn't hate it. But, like, to me, I was like, okay, it could have been nominated instead of that. I didn't like The Zone of Interest. I kind of got, like, you know, again, like, points for audacity. I just didn't think it was a very good movie. So to me, it could have fit any of those, and I'd have been fine. It's like there's always something. It's like the effect. Like what won for effects last year? Was it Oppenheimer?
probably. Let's see.
Was it a Vader?
What?
It was probably
Avatar?
Amelia Perez.
The Vader. I was like, what? No, that would have been the year before.
Pictures, actors, adapted screenplay, international, documentary, animation, sound, production design.
Probably something real
cinematography,
obvious. Like, oh, duh.
Visual effects. Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take that away,
No.
but I would have beaten it. No offense. Godzilla -1 was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But Dune probably would have beat it. No offense. No offense to any. No offense. It's awards, baby. It's a war.
Bitch.
Like conflict. Yeah. I think it would have gotten a lot of nominations last year. They just would have had to do some shuffling. And it would have been an even better award season. It'd been like, Jesus Christ, what are we?
Is it far and away leading for visuals this year?
No.
I was about to say, like, all these had great visuals.
Better Man is the best movie in the history of film.
If by Better Man you mean Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Hell fucking no. King of the Planet of the Apes.
Every time an Apes movie
Dune
comes out now,
and
that should
Wicked
just be the automatic win.
Hell no. Better Man. The thing about Better Man, it's like, and they do it with editing too, and you'll see it with visual effects. Sometimes it's like they just vote for like what movie had the most visual effects, opposed to what movie had the best use of visual effects. It's like what movie had the most editing. If you ever watched the Bohemian Rhapsody,
Apparently
scene
Amelia Perez.
where it's like what movie had the where it's like no, what movie had the best use of editing? Remember Baby Driver? How fucking good the editing it was in that movie.
Oh
He's
yeah.
driving, shit is happening to the beat of the song, and it's doing that. It's like that's editing. That's use of editing. And it's like sometimes they'll
Baby
just be like, what
Driver.
movie? Wacky editing.
Can't
job.
wait to
And it's
rewatch
like,
Baby Driver again.
yeah. And it's like, to me, Better Man, I don't think it's like the front runner for visual effects when Dune is there. But to me, it had the best use of visual effects because almost everything in that movie is real. If you've seen
I get that.
Except the monkey.
Yeah, well, the monkey is a guy. It's a guy doing the motion capture, all the dancing and all the shit, and all the actors are with them. And it's like, I mean, it's like that's a human, like that's a monkey. It's you don't by the 10 minutes into the movie, you don't care that it's a monkey. Like you are fully committed to like, okay, that's a monkey with human parents, and he's marrying a human woman, and it's fine. I'm not even thinking about it. It just had a great. I would vote for it just because it's the only thing it got nominated for. To be fair, but it's like it really like I would defend its nomination. I'm like, dude, it had tremendous use of visual effects. I'm not mad if Dune wins. That's probably the closest thing to a Dune frontrunner that we have. But Better Man should have been nominated for like 100 things. Fuck y'all. Fuck the Academy.
Yeah. That's my takeaway.
Campaign. They're like campaigning the shit out of this one nomination that Better Man got. Now they're like tweeting like, go see the Academy Award winning or nominated movie that critics. It's like, where the fuck were you 2 months ago? Why weren't you like, oh my god,
No
everyone
shit.
goes, it's for your consideration, the best movie you'll ever watch. The musical sequence that's like online now and everybody shares it should have just been playing in theaters. It should have been the trailer for the movie. Like the big dance musical number. It's like the best thing you'll ever watch. Should have been the trailer. They should have played it the way they play like Christopher Nolan things in IMAX.
Oh.
Like months before they come out. They should have done that with Better Man. It should have been like, and here's a scene from the greatest film of all time. And I'd have been like, oh, interesting. And then I'd have gone to see it and cried, like sunk into my chair and just died like I did. But anyway, I digress. What are some other movies that were just really great that didn't get nominated for anything?
We Live in Time.
We Live in Time. I thought was really good. Even if like
It's in my top 10.
Is that the one with Andrew Garfield?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. They were both great. Outstanding. I don't even think, is like, has Florence Pugh even been like in the awards conversation this year for that?
No.
She was wonderful.
I would say, like I did say, it's the best I've ever seen either one of them. I haven't seen the musical Netflix movie that Garfield did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good in that.
Tick, tick, tock.
She's really great this summer.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
But I mean, it's among the best that they've been. Yeah, I think he was better in this than like Hacksaw Ridge.
How awkward is it going to be in Avengers Secret Wars when Yelena and Peter Parker cross paths? They really will live in time.
They just kiss.
Yeah.
It's all these people that have been in movies together, and it's like they just all do the Spider-Man point.
Yeah. Exactly.
Talk about Spider-Man. I still got to check out that series on Disney Plus. I haven't had a chance to check it out.
I haven't started Harley Quinn. I haven't started Spider-Man.
That was something I was thinking, like, while we were talking. The Harley Quinn show, it's like, if they ever recast Harley Quinn, just make the TV show version her.
Yeah.
Give it to Kaylee. I'm there.
Yes.
And Lake Bell.
Yes.
She can be Poison Ivy. She can be Poison Ivy all day. Like it. And they're funny. Do that. But anyway, James Gunn, if you're listening, do that.
Yes.
I think that's a good idea. Margot Robbie, over it. If she doesn't want to do it anymore, I understand.
Yes.
Do that. Kaylee Cuoco's got it.
1,000,000 times yes.
But, because, like, what's his name is playing Clayface, is he not?
I don't know
Alan Cumming?
if I don't know if Alan Tudyk is doing Clayface beyond Creature Commandos. I don't know if he's already a lock for the Clayface movie.
Clayface, like I need that version of Clayface, like the fucking really humorous version. I want funny Bane.
No,
just do it. Give me some kind of weird, happy mixture of like the funny Bane and the serious Bane, where he's also like a bouncer at Kite Man's bar.
I was about to say we need to talk about live action Kite Man.
Yeah, give me that funny. Just I don't know. If you're gonna do it, just commit. Be like, okay, it's all canon.
No.
Fuck it, Robert Batman. Fuck it. We don't care. Fuck it. It's all canon.
I feel like they said the Clayface movie was going to be similar to The Fly, but I also like heard that comparison for Wolfman, so I don't know if I'm confusing the two.
Wolfman was kind of like The Fly-esque.
Doesn't mean it wasn't kind of a letdown.
Fly-esque. Yeah, I didn't hate it. It's in the middle of my... I've seen 10 new movies this year, and that's had even more movie theater trips. It's a month. It's been 1 month. That's pretty wild.
That's crazy. I don't...
Better man.
Did Companion give me 5 or 6? I think it gave me 5. Just Den of Thieves, Wolfman, One of Them Days, Dogman, Companion.
I've watched a few streaming movies. I watched Back in Action. I watched You're Cordially Invited. And I watched this Star Trek movie just out of pure curiosity because I didn't think it was a movie. I thought it was a TV show.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, a movie? A new Star Trek movie?
Michelle Yeoh, though.
And I was like, will I not understand what's going on? And they were like, Michelle Yeoh was on Discovery, but like, this is kind of the first time she's been the lead of the whole thing. And like, all the other characters are new. I was like, I think I'm going to watch it. And then I didn't even hate it.
Is she the same character?
Yeah, well, like, she's the same character that, you know, I guess she was like a guest role on Discovery a couple times. But it's like, this is her, like, she's the lead, and she's kind of like involved with this ragtag team of Star Trek guys and girls. They go on a little adventure. It was fun. Like, I didn't hate it.
Is it canon to Chris Pine?
To what?
The Chris Pine movies.
Who fucking knows? Who knows anymore?
No.
I think so, because I think Spock is on one of those other shows.
Quinto?
And it's a different actor.
Oh. Lame.
Yeah, not him. Spock, I think it's, Strange New Worlds or whatever. I think he's on it. I could be making this up. But I'm pretty sure Spock is a character on that show, but it's a different actor. It's just a different guy. They don't take it as seriously as the DC people.
Lame.
Nominated for Oscars.
Well, Black Bolt is playing Christopher Pike.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a Trekkie, but Pike was like the original Enterprise guy, right?
They recruited Kirk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bruce Greenwood.
Yes.
09.
Yes.
I am a Trekkie.
Sounds like it.
This shit is hard, Trekkies. You act like it's this big sacred day. It's not that hard. Fuck y'all. It's not that hard. I shouldn't say that on here. The Trekkies will come.
That's what
They'll boycott. But you know, we won't have the Amelia Perez hive boycotting the pod. Because there is none. Only people online who I have seen, like, pro Amelia Perez are like those, like, Selena Gomez, like, stan Twitters.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, that's not real.
Fan
They're
pages
just like,
are the worst.
Goat, my greatest goat. And I'm like, okay, but did you watch the...
Well,
No.
not only that, I guess the actress Carla Sofia Gasol, I guess she tweeted out some stuff in the past, and even now, and that's where that whole controversy is also coming from. So I have no idea what was said or what, but
it's shit. It's like bad, like it's like pretty racist shit.
Man,
Even out of context.
that's my shit though.
what context do you really need, like on Twitter? Like, honestly, this tweet where she's like, I'm watching the Oscars, I didn't realize it was like the Black Lives Matter show or something along those lines. And it's like, okay, cool. And she has since said something like she deactivated her Twitter account. I'm not calling it X. She deactivated her Twitter account. She was like, I can't let any more of this hate campaign, years old tweets, 20 years old. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. And it's like, babe,
Literally,
beloved, it's like 2 years ago you were tweeting about, like, there was something about Selena Gomez. Like, she said something like, oh, she's so obsessed with her ex-boyfriend and his wife, she should move on. It's like,
that's not so homie.
Yeah, it was like,
it's like crazy how these things don't come to light until afterwards.
Because
it's like, how did no one hop on this?
There's these losers on social media that will go to specific pages just to look for dirt. Uh-oh, your face.
I'm not mad at it. I just wish they would just do it in a more timely fashion.
Nah, bro. My shit.
2 weeks.
It doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, bro, it doesn't matter. Black, white, Asian, man, woman, trans, whatever you are, bro. People make mistakes. People are fucked up. Just because you belong to this specific group of people doesn't make you fucking innocent from doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people fucked up. People fuck up every day. If you ain't ever, like, if you ain't, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, bro.
And if you've never just tweeted some, like, crazy racist shit about, like, Afro-Korean.
As soon as we get off of here, I'm searching Nick's whole Twitter.
Things in my everyday life that I, like, don't agree with. I'll see things and I'll, like, roll my eyes, and then I'll just kind of, like, leave it at that.
Yeah.
I never feel the need to, like, get on Twitter. Like, didn't know the Black Lives Matter award show was tonight. And it's like, bro, what are you saying? Like, why would you, even if that's how you feel? This is, like, my biggest, like, I'm like, fuck you for, like, being that way, fuck you for thinking that way. But it's like, even if that's how you feel, why wouldn't you just, like, keep it to yourself? Like, yeah. I don't, like, fear that you're trying to get off. Like, why wouldn't you just, like, keep it to yourself and, like, roll your eyes and then just, like, go to bed with your thoughts? Like, why would you get on Twitter? This is, like, as an adult, like, we're all adults having an adult conversation. We aren't living in this fantasy world where everyone's great. It's like, okay, even if you felt that way, which we can't stop, as much as we want to be as inclusive and politically correct as is possible and as it should be allowed, people are just going to be shitty. You're going to have racist people. You're going to have shitty people. It's always going to be there. But I'm like, hey, I can't fix you. I can't stop you from hey, why would you get on Twitter and fucking say that shit? Like, that would be my defense as the lawyer in the case. I'd be like, she may feel this way. She may be the most racist, hateful, bigot piece of shit. She didn't have to go to Twitter and announce it to the world. If she didn't have a Twitter, we probably wouldn't even be here talking about it. Like, I heard she's kind of a racist asshole. And it's like, okay, you heard that. I can't prove it. Whatever. It's like all it took for somebody to go on Twitter and be like, oh, she hates Muslims.
Like, oh, gosh.
There it is. She hates them.
Well, the funny thing is that just people in general, you have coworkers or friends of all different races and cultures and all that.
Yeah.
You can't be friends with somebody from a different race and culture and then start tweeting out something about that race and culture. Like, it doesn't, like me, my whole family, look, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Latino, and I tell people when I describe my family, is we are Baskin Robbins. In my family, I have Asian, white, black, Italian, whatever denomination you could think of my family has. And then when I introduce my cousins, they're like, is that really your cousin? Or you're saying, no, this is my blood cousin. Just because they look different than me,
no,
that doesn't mean we're not related. And I feel like people need to open up their eyes and mind, and they're not, just because you're not in that situation or that's not how your world is or your family is, that doesn't mean others aren't like that. And one of my best friends, he's Italian. He lives in New York. We're not related, but that's my boy. I grew up with him. We're best friends and all that. Sometimes you don't have to be related to have family, and people need to realize that.
That's
and I
a
guarantee
fact.
people that are saying these things have friends and family like that. And by when you say that, you're disrespecting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, oh, yeah, here's my boy, this and that, but I hate this race, or I say something demeaning about this race, but that's my boy. No, he's not. Then
That's something you see. She made a response recently.
Ignorance.
I think she activated her Twitter. She like put a response on Instagram or some shit, and she did the thing that they always do, where she was like, anybody who knows me knows that this is not how I really am. You would be surprised to learn that one of my best friends is Muslim. And it's like, they always do that. They'll say some
Right.
racist shit on Facebook. They'll be like, I'll be like, babe, that's kind of racist. I'll be, my best friend is black, or my best friend's husband is black, and I babysit their kid all
not
the
no
time.
more.
It's like,
No.
it's like, okay, if that is the case, why are you saying this racist shit? Why is that in your soul? Why is it part of you? It's like that you're proving the point. It's like, in spite of that, in spite of evidence in front of you, you're still saying the racist shit. You're still letting yourself go, even if it's for like cheap laughs or something. It's like, you have to read the room. There's nobody telling you. It's like, there's a time and place for certain things. Not that there's a time and place for racism. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, some people will cite, people telling this kind of joke. Some people do this, and I'm like, there's a time and place. Like, there's nobody telling you to get on Twitter and just say some racist shit. There's nobody doing it. Now, if I'm going to such and such comedy show where I'm like, oh, this person's playing, there's probably going to be some, and we're like in a weird place right now with like comedy and like things like that, where people act like, oh, you can't tell jokes anymore. Oh, everybody's a snowflake. You can't tell a joke anymore. And it's like, well, we're in this weird place in society right now where like things like this are like way too normal. Got people doing Nazi salutes on fucking television now. That was gone. 10 years ago, we weren't doing that. We were beating up Nazis. I was going to punk rock shows and beating the shit out of Nazis if they can. I used to do that. That was a thing I did. It used to be a thing. Like, it was like that was gone. Conservatives, leftists, liberals, everybody used to kind of just agree that fuck Nazis. Like, it used to be like, man, fuck you. Fuck that. We went to war to fight you fuckers. Fuck that. We got people doing Nazi salutes on TV now and being told that it's like, you know what? It's their prerogative. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. We're in a weird area in society now where it's like, okay, yeah, you can't really joke about it because it's like becoming the norm again. So you telling like this racist joke, great comedians, I'm not going to really name names because it's not, we're getting off track a bit, but it's like otherwise great comedians, doubling, tripling down on like transgender jokes. It's not as funny as it maybe would have been 10, 15 years ago because like people like that are just, they're not in a good place right now. They're being marginalized again on like an insane degree. Mm-hmm. It's not as funny now. It's like you have to be able to read a room. And it's like nobody is telling you, it's like you're attacking my character. And it's like, yes, because nobody is telling you to get on Twitter and say this shit.
Your
like
character is trash, bro.
Nobody told you to do that. You didn't have to. It's like we're attacking your character. And it's like, no, we don't know you as a person. I don't know you. I'm probably never going to meet you. I can follow you on Twitter, and this is the evidence right there. It's like, this is what you said. Mm-hmm. See, you didn't have to do that. You didn't
Also, don't you have people that are like your publicists to be like, can you shut the fuck up?
Exactly. Public relations.
That shit. The PR people, behind the movie didn't catch it. Netflix didn't catch it. We got you. I'm sorry. Look what you did. Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. You were in blackface 5 years ago. That's nuts. Babe, that's crazy. Sorry, like, you can't win an Oscar now. I'm sorry. is crazy. Like, I can't give you the statue. You said you don't like Muslims in 2021. That's wild. That's insane. I'm sorry.
It's common sense. Some people don't.
Yeah.
People just don't have it. So,
like, to me, it's like people talk about like political correctness, like it's this thing. Like, oh, it's like this. Like, oh, everybody's politically correct. It's like, the thing is, politically correctness it should be like the norm. It should be,
show respect.
We're just going to assume that we're going by the most politically correct way of life, whatever that may be. And it's ever evolving all the time. Life is different now than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, obviously, in many different ways. There are different genders, races, and there's different people in different positions of power than there ever could have been 50 years ago. Life, it's just life. And it's like, okay, I think like the norm should be that you're being as politically correct as you can be. And if that is what's happening, then you can tell those jokes that maybe go against the grain, because it's like, wow, it brings back like, wow, I can't believe they're saying this. It's what made shows like Chappelle's Show so great, because it's the norm, because it was like, post 9/11, it was like, we need to be politically correct every aspect of life. It's the safest way to be. It's how it should be. And so a show like that just kind of like makes fun of everybody. And it's like, now we're entering a space where it's like, it isn't the way. Like, it's like, we're taking down rainbow flags from places just so, to appease the man. And like, I hate that shit. Like, fuck you and your boot. I'm not licking your boot. I'm keeping my rainbow flag up, even if it's just to piss you off. Like, fuck you. And so it's like, we're entering this weird way where it's like, that's why it's like, okay, your tweet, maybe you thought it was a joke. It's just not funny. And like 2022, 23, or 25, it's like, it's not funny. I'm sorry. Like, it's not, you can't be like, this is the Afro-Korean Awards. I hate it. Like, what does that even mean? What are you saying? I'm sorry.
Also, I feel like, I remember back in the day, even to a far ago, it's okay to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And you can still be friends and family, and it's just a conversation. Just because you agree with someone, it's okay. It's okay. People have different opinions. People think differently. People were brought up differently. People come from different backgrounds and different places. It is okay. Now I feel like if you don't agree with certain people, or certain people don't agree with you, everybody's attacking each other for stupid reasons.
It's like certain things. It's like, a minute ago, you said Henry Cavill was Superman to you. I disagree. Christopher Reeve is Superman to me. We can disagree with that. I'll argue.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to be like, man, fuck Rocket. You know what?
Yeah.
But it's like, if the disagreement is like, transgender people shouldn't have rights, or, gay people shouldn't be allowed to get married, or this race, that race shouldn't be allowed to have the same rights as this race. It's like, fuck you. Yeah, I'm going to argue with you and disagree with you and say fuck. Like, yeah, there's just certain things. And I think we're getting into that weird, where it's like, oh, we can't live. We used to be a society where we disagree. And it's like, fuck you. It used to be like, do you drink coffee or Red Bull? And it's like, oh, you drink coffee? That's insane. It's like, oh, we'll agree to disagree. It's like, man, I don't know. These are like real issues.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not giving you a fucking Oscar. It's like, no, I don't agree with
it.
I agree with you. It's like, you're wrong. That's wrong. Like, that's fucking wrong. Like, the things you're saying are like gross. Like, it's like, sorry, that's racist.
What makes me
racist is bad.
Like I said,
sorry.
Think about it.
The thing.
You're transgender, which cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Remember how you felt, how people were saying things about you.
How are you going to mark?
And yet you're going now out and saying things about other people. Like, people have to take things into account. And I feel like they just spit out stuff before they think. And at the end of the day you're also a part of that. Because she's also part of that minority. You're like, right now, you're representing a group of people that it doesn't get that acknowledgement, and yet now you're the first transgender person to get nominated ever for an award. That's huge for that community. And also, it's sad that we're even talking about like that community of those type of people. To me, people are people.
Yeah.
I don't care what skin color, what race, what
Exactly.
people are people.
That's how it should be.
You know, people are people. That's how I've always been brought up. That's how I was raised and all that. But at the end of the day, by us saying, well, this community of people of this, or this, that in itself is terrible. People are people. You know, what some other people happy may not make you happy, but they're happy. That's all that counts to them. What it doesn't have no effect on you. It doesn't bother you. Why people get upset over that makes me laugh. But at the end of the day, it's people are people. But also, you've known what it was to feel a certain way, and yet you're going out now spewing stuff to other people. Like it just that, like I said, it's just
like how are you going to budget? I look at it like if the whole of humanity were on the Titanic,
man,
and people currently running things were in charge of the Titanic, I'm like, beloved, you're not getting a lifeboat. I'm telling you, if everybody is separated, children, or if we're separated by like this group, you're not getting a lifeboat. You would be stuck on the Titanic with all of those people that you were just shit talking. 100%. I'd maybe refuse. It would be a matter of right now. It'd be a matter of refusing the lifeboat. I'd be like, man, fuck you. Why are you leaving all these people on the fucking boat? And lost track. That used to kind of be the thing, and it's like we've lost track of it somewhere in the last 10 years. It's just been like, yeah, well, I'm just, and a lot of people are like, I'm keeping to myself, and it's like, no, fuck that. It's like you said some racist shit, and like not only is it like gross and just bad character, but it's like it's wrong. Like it's just like fuck you. To be racist is bad. Like that's a bad thing, and that's what you are. So guess what? Fuck you. You don't get to win an Oscar now. That's what we're gonna remember about your time in Oscar season. Not that you were the first trans actress to ever be nominated, which is, you know, an amazing achievement. Hopefully it still kind of opens the floodgates. But it's like, that's what we're going to remember. It's like, oh no. And then you watch the movie in hindsight, and it kind of is just like, oh, because I've heard the director is a real piece of work as well. I'm not really familiar with his other stuff, but apparently he's like very French and like says, like he's got his own opinions built in about like the studying he did or didn't do for like Mexican culture and all this stuff. And it's like, man, this movie's a mess. And this is just kind of reflective of just like, oh, see, the people involved in the movie really didn't care deeply about, you know, handling these things with the delicacy. And now it's reflected in the tweets. It's like, oh, yeah, oh no, you just, oh man, it's about you. It's like, oh, my story matters, but the story of all these other minorities and, you know, none of that matters. And it's just gross. I'm just like, not surprised. I wasn't like shocked when I read the news. I was like, oh no, people involved with the worst movie ever suck. Shocking. Oh, that's surprising. It's not the worst.
And not only that, though, too, it's funny. It had controversy already with the number of nominations it got. Yeah. So that it was already struggling with fighting that.
Somebody
now
really
deal with this. It's just
Yeah. Mr. Robot or one of those, like somebody was like, fuck this, and like went in and found those tweets. I'm just, why didn't you do it like 3 weeks ago? It had to do, I'm glad it came out. People act like, oh man, we could have prevented all of this. But I'm like, fuck that. Should have come to light for sure. Like, you know, but done it, something else worthy could have gotten the nominations. And like, what do you do now? Do you rescind, even if they were to be like, you know what? We're rescinding your nomination. They're not going to nominate somebody else. Like, what do? They're supposed to do the thing this year that they did where, like, actresses come out and will talk about each actress. What are they going to do? Like, who's going to come out and talk? You're like, oh, you. Oh, us. Like, they're just not going to say anything and then just leave. Like, I see that as a very viable option. I see them being like, you know what, we're rescinding your nomination. You're not invited to the ceremony. I'll bet that happens. But it's not like they're going to nominate somebody else as a pity, like, and, you know, Angelina, come on down. Like, no,
I'm good.
The thing is, they did that last year too. They that was kind of a cool twist of it last year. You had former Oscar winners from, like, say, Best Actor. You have former ones to nominate Best Supporting Actors or Actresses. Like, so that was the kind of cool twist they did last year.
They did.
Now, if they did that again this year, like you said, Nick, who, like, either A, they can't invite her, or they're gonna have to rescind it, and they might be forced to nominate somebody else. And the shitty part about it is, say if that is the case, who's actually going to take that nomination?
Yeah.
They're like, what? So I'm second best choice? You know what I mean? Like that type of things.
Ending the nomination. I can see that happening. I can see them being like, you know what? Revoke. Revoke you. Revoke. But I don't see them picking someone else. Just like Pamela Anderson, now's your time. I'd be like, man, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Your ass. I don't. But like, they did it in 2000. It was like for the 2009. I remember when Jeremy Renner was nominated, Colin Farrell, and because like Jeremy Renner was not like an Oscar guy until The Hurt Locker. Like, he was really just kind of a that guy actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Colin Farrell came out and just talked about how they were in SWAT. Like, they were like, remember when we did SWAT, and that was really fun. And had a SWAT.
Well, it's kind of like Angela Bassett a couple of years ago. She should have won Best Supporting Actress. Jamie Lee Curtis got it, and then last year they gave her honorary Academy Award winner. You know, he's an like, go fuck yourself. Either I win it. Don't feel bad that you guys fucked up. Now you're giving me one as an honorary thing.
Like the Bears broke it and be like, fuck you, I'm coming back next year.
You know, so
yeah.
We got deep on this episode.
Yeah, we did.
We did. This is like Dr. Phil.
But I think we're gonna put a wrap on it, and I'll close the episode. I'll lighten the mood.
Don't be racist. Go see Ben.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like we're all humans, man. We're all just trying to make it tomorrow.
Don't fucking do it. And if you can't, not do it. If, like, with all your power, if you just cannot be not racist,
just don't hit send.
Don't get out it. Like, just keep internal racism. It's been a thing for centuries.
I don't know what we're talking about in 2 weeks. It will be the 16th of Captain America reaction. We'll react to Captain America: Brave New World in 2 weeks. It's Rec League Podcast. Yo. Hey, yo. Flow cold and it's free, yo. Too sick. Don't stand next to me, though. 86 kid, but I never been forgotten about. What you talking about? They get popped in the mouth. I'm dropping them now. I'm knocking them out. Talk to them now. I saw a cutie that murdered William. 5 fingers on Bill and she killed him. It's trippy that they say payback is a bitch, cause you a bitch. And if I ever got paid back, I'd be rich. I don't feel like you have any clue what you doing. Shit is confusing and amusing, who you using and abusing, bruising when you moving. If you assuming, then you losing. Lame cats with they fake shit and the gimmicks. Out here more whack than academics. And chill till the next episode.